I have lost 113 pounds, and honestly, I want to
Hey
talk.
bestie, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bestie, like the video because it helps with my algorithm. So in today's video, we'll be talking about the biggest lessons women learn after losing weight. So I put the stitches together so that you watch. I'll be back to share my 2 cents.
I have lost 113 pounds, and honestly, I want to talk about it. For reference, this is me at my heaviest weight, and this is me currently. I'm going to be honest with you. Being heavily obese and overweight had to be one of the most traumatizing experiences of my life, especially because I was the overweight, dark skinned friend. The combo was a very traumatizing combo. The lack of respect that I got from men in particular was absolutely insane. I've always been a very outspoken person, so being that and overweight, it was an awful combo because it just made people feel so triggered by me. Because how dare you have confidence, be outspoken, and be big? There's no way. It kind of seemed like people were always out to humble me because how dare you have that type of attitude and you look the way you look? But the crazy part is, I act like that to this day, and now that I'm skinnier, it's taken a lot differently. It's taken as, oh my God, you have so much confidence. You would never let anyone talk to you like that. Men find it attractive. But before, when I was big, it was the how dare you have the audacity. I have a very, if I'm being honest, a resting bitch face. Like, I'm pretty much very flat faced on a good day. People would literally come up to me and they'd just be like, you kind of like have a bad attitude. Now when men come up to me, they'd be like, you are too beautiful to be looking like that. Like, you should smile more. You're such a beautiful woman. And honestly, I look at them like, because had I had been 253 pounds, this is not what you would be saying with me. I will say this, being overweight has given me a certain discernment for people though. So when people come into my life, or especially since I've lost this weight, when people come into my life and they speak to me, or they just come into my life and they want to be cordial or cool, I automatically know when someone's here for the look of it or when someone's here because they genuinely like my energy. I'm not the type of person who becomes friends with people for aesthetics. I become friends with people because I really like you as a person, or I'm vibing with you in some type of way, or I like what you have going for yourself. But I'm never just going to become friends with you because you're pretty or because your body looks a certain way. That has never been my type of thing. So when I know people are coming around me for that, I automatically just block them out. The opportunities that I have gotten since being skinny are a lot better. I have gotten better opportunities. I've gotten job raises. There are certain things that I've gotten away with simply because I'm more petite and I look better now versus when I was bigger that I knew I wouldn't be able to get away with. Understand that when I was bigger, I could get away with saying like, oh my God, I'm so beautiful, and being confident, and people just like, oh my God, you're so confident. Now that confidence comes off as cockiness to people. When I've been like this since I was big, it just hits a little different now that I'm small. Now it's cocky and it's very weird to me. In short, the world is going to treat you a lot differently in a small body, and that is just something that you have to understand. I tell all my small friends, don't get big. You're not going to like it over there on that side of town. You're just not. You're just not. In fact, it's very rare, and I'm gonna be honest, it's very rare that a bigger girl gets the pretty privilege. I've seen pretty big girls not get pretty privilege simply because they're big. Now, some positive things, because I feel like I spoke on a lot of negative things. Positive things, I feel better. My cycles are more regular. I feel more confident. I know exactly who I am. I'm not letting the world determine that for me anymore. I feel like I'm more steady into who I am, even more than so before. I like that I can walk up a flight of stairs and not be huffing and puffing. I like that I can be outside in heat and not get overheated so easily. There are a lot of positives to losing weight, and I honestly like how I look. Preferably, I like how I look smaller. That's my preference, and that's not the preference society put on me. I like myself at a smaller weight. But I still loved myself at a heavier weight as well. And that is the key to anybody who's losing weight. Do not lose weight out of hatred for yourself. Lose weight out of respect for yourself. Because if we're being honest, being overweight is not healthy. It's just not. I was not healthy. As much as I loved myself at that weight, I wasn't healthy. I wasn't. So just make the switch for the right reasons. Make it out of self-love, and make sure you're making that switch not out of self-hate. Make sure you click the link in my bio to book your one-on-one skincare consultation so we can get you on a good skincare regimen. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Nobody really tells you about the shock that you'll experience after losing weight. The fact that people treat you so differently after dropping pounds is crazy to me, and it needs to be studied. Like, I was 289 pounds at one point in time, y'all, and I never was really insecure. At that point in time, my platform was at its biggest. I had over 200,000 across all my platforms from doing makeup. That's like a little fun fact about me. I used to be a beauty influencer. However, so I always got attention. I always felt seen. However, it wasn't until I lost weight that I realized, damn, I kind of felt invisible. I feel like society does not treat fat people with the same respect that they treat normal sized people or regular sized people. So it's like when you become more aesthetically pleasing to the eye of men and just people in general, women and men treat you differently. Like, it used to be women who would never try to be friends with me, who look to be friends with me now and engage me first. It used to be men who I know a type that will go for me, and I could clearly know that that guy is not the type that'll go for me, but now that guy wants me. He wants to go for me. It's also crazy to me that people who I knew in my personal life, people who I knew personally from before when I was overweight at 289 pounds, how they treated me and how they treat me now. It is so crazy. It needs to be studied. It really genuinely makes me, and this is just my opinion, it genuinely makes me feel like the compliments y'all give fat people are not for them. Like, it feels like people used to compliment me out of sympathy because they thought I felt bad about my weight or I was insecure at any point in time, and I wasn't. It feels like y'all give sympathy and pity. Oh, you look cute today. Or y'all think y'all be doing charity work when y'all compliment a fat person. And it's crazy because it wasn't until I lost weight that I realized that. And now that's why I tell you I'm a big girl. I'm a big girl in a small body, because being fat gave me so many intangibles and showed me how people in the world really are. And losing weight could never change that. I see you for exactly who you are a mile away. Like, there's a specific guy type that tries to address me and talk to me, that I know for a fact that if I was 289 pounds, you wouldn't even approach me. Now, mind y'all, I'm married, but I got married at my heaviest weight. My husband married me at my heaviest weight. So there's an archetype of man that would appreciate me at that weight as well as at this weight. Although I think my husband, of course, I think he prefers me being this weight. We're not even gonna cap like he don't. But I'm just saying. So it's just it just feels like fat people don't get genuine praise and appreciation and compliments. And losing weight showed me that. Y'all need to fucking do better, for real. When I really think about that, it really makes me so upset. And society, y'all need to do better. When they talk about people being fat phobic, that is a real thing, and it is ingrained in our society that your cousin, your mother, your best friend, your husband, your close relative or friend may be fat phobic, and you won't know that until you lose weight and you see how they look at you, and it changes the way they the compliments change, the look in their eyes, the admiration changes.
Let's chat. One thing that nobody really warns you about, maybe they do, but when you lose a significant amount of weight, you get treated significantly differently. And part of you inside, I was just talking to a friend about this the other day. Part of you inside is still the person that you were. So let me give you some context. I've lost 50 pounds since my heaviest that I've been. And I'm currently in the smallest body that I've been since high school. And what is weird is, I think it's definitely the older generation. I notice it with family members that are older, that are 50s, 60s. They still don't really know how to properly talk to somebody when they look different. And I understand, if you haven't seen me in a while, I look different, okay? I get that. But to have the first reaction be you're so skinny, oh my God, what did you do? Tell me all of your secrets. You look so good. The inside of you is still screaming that was bigger. Does that make sense? sorry, I've had some wine. The person that you were when you were a little bit heavier is still so much still the person that you are today. You just look different. And no one really prepares you for that, because like I personally, I still look in the mirror and I still see my same self. It's really hard for me to, other than like realizing that my clothes are fitting a lot different and I had to buy new clothes, I still look in the mirror and I still see this dysmorphed version of myself because I'm not kind to myself. But having it be a topic of conversation and realizing that like love interests treat you differently, like you get more attention, it's so frustrating because the inside of you, part of you that was heavier, is still so much the same person that you're like, hi, I've been here this whole time. I've been here this whole time. And it's really frustrating and it's difficult. In my opinion, it almost makes you want to like be mean to those people because you're like, why are you treating me differently now? I had the same mind I did at that time. I am different in a lot of ways. Like it took a lot of, discipline and dedication. And like I feel better in a lot of ways, but at the same time, I'm so angry that I'm like, why didn't you give that version of me a little bit more grace and attention? Like, and then it makes you think, oh, when I walked into those rooms before, did you see me so different that now all of a sudden I'm deserving of this respect and this attention that I maybe wasn't deserving of before because I look different? And it really messes with your head, especially when it comes to like specifically male attention. If you date men, these people have been coming out of the woodworks and I'm like, excuse me, no, you secretly gave me attention when I was heavier, but now you're like really going to go after me because now I'm socially acceptable to date. And it's so frustrating and it makes me really angry. And sometimes I'm just like, no, you don't get access to me now because you weren't kind to me before. And if this is how you're treating me now and I'm getting more attention now, it tells me everything that I need to know about how you felt about me before. Both versions of myself are still very...
Sorry if anybody hears this and gets offended and thinks it's like fat phobic or anything, but losing weight was the best thing I've ever done for myself in my life. And that's coming from somebody who's broken a lot of generational curses. I was the first person in my family to go to college. I'm currently in a master's degree now. I've traveled a lot of places. I've done a lot of races. Like I've done a lot of things that I think people would be impressed by, but losing weight has to be the single best one that I've done. And it's not even like that I like how I look better, I like how I feel better now. It's that the things I had to do to figure out how to lose weight and how to be healthy have carried over into everything else I've done in my life. And like I attribute anything I'm doing now in life to the fact that I chose to lose weight several years ago. And for anybody that's new here, I was 260 pounds. I got down to 170 and now I'm trying to lose some more weight. So I've lost 90 pounds and maintained it for years. But it was having to learn to lose weight and abandon so many old habits, so many old beliefs, so many old like patterns of existence. I had to completely shed those and learn new things that other people in my family weren't doing. Like I had to find outside resources. I had to teach myself basically. And that skill has carried over into professional settings, school settings, social and familial settings. Like I am a better person because I had to learn to lose weight. And I truly think that for the rest of my life, no matter what journeys, adventures I go on, the fact that I went through that experience, I will be better for it in every other scenario. I can't think of a challenge in life that I'm too scared to handle now because I had to overcome myself, basically. And I know this is dramatic and you guys are probably going to watch this and be like, girl, chill out. All you did was go into a calorie deficit. But like when you grew up eating like shit and not knowing anything, like having no nutritional literacy or health literacy or anything like that, you really start from like -10 and you got to build your way up. Like you got to dig yourself out of the hole of generational curses that like eating disorders puts people in. So I'm very proud of myself, and let this be a PSA to anybody who's considering a weight loss journey. It might just be the best thing you do for yourself ever.
On a weight loss journey to lose 55 kilos. I've lost 35 so far, and this is what I've learned on my weight loss journey. So the first thing I've learned is you really need to deal with the issue at hand first. So instead of trying to get all into motivation and joining the gym and getting all the healthy food and throwing out all your unhealthy food, or doing whatever you do, like trying to decide which diet you're going to do, instead of doing that, really think about, okay, like, why am I actually overweight? Why am I actually obese? If you are coming from like 100 kilos, like you're over 100 kilos, like you are like 30 kilos plus overweight, you are like obese. If you're in the obese or morbidly obese category, pretty much guaranteed you have some sort of issue with food. It just kind of is what it is. Like, I think if you're a little bit overweight, then you can definitely be a little bit overweight and not have a problem with food. I think that's totally possible. But if you are obese or morbidly obese, then you've definitely got an issue with food, and you need to figure out, okay, like, why am I eating this much? Why am I binge eating? Because usually when you're like really, really overweight, like obese, you must be binge eating, because like there's a difference between, because obviously like you could consistently eat like 200 or 500 calories over your maximum calories for the day that your body needs to just maintain weight, and like more than your activity level, you know what I mean? It's pretty easy to eat an extra 200 or 500 calories a day, honestly. Like 200 calories, that's a donut easily. Like a Krispy Kreme is like 190 calories, I think. And then like 500 calories, well, you know, that's like a burger or something, let's just say. It's kind of easy to eat that food. It's pretty easy to eat that much. So to be like overweight, I think it's pretty easy to get to that point. But to be obese, to be morbidly obese, you've got an issue, because you must be eating to the point where you are probably binge eating. And that's where I came from. I came from a place where I was binge eating, and I had to deal with that first. Once I dealt with that, like, and that was obviously like the biggest issue. The main issue was the binge eating. Like, that was really making me put on a lot of weight. After I dealt with that, I lost an initial 10 kilos. So definitely, that's probably like the biggest thing. That's the first thing I learned, was like, okay, I really need to deal with this first, because I think that's why I struggled for so long, because I wasn't addressing the actual issue, which was just me wanting to eat like all the time and eating too much and binge eating. That was the actual issue. It wasn't like, finding the right diet or figuring out like how to enjoy working out or whatever. That wasn't the issue. Like, the main issue was the fact that I was eating so much, like way too much, and binge eating. The second thing I've learned is just to embrace the ups and downs of weight loss. When you first start, and I mean, gosh, I've been trying to lose weight for so long. I mean, I'm 32, and probably the first time that I thought about losing weight was probably when I was around 12. So it's pretty crazy to think that 20 years I've been thinking about losing weight. It's kind of like my Roman Empire, you know, when we think about that. My Roman Empire is probably being skinny. Like, that's the thing that I think about the most. That's honestly like one of those things that I've thought about the most over the years, is just being skinny, just wanting to be skinny. Previously, when I would get off track and maybe put weight on, or like not lose weight fast enough, I would just get so put off. I'd get frustrated, and I'd just give up. But obviously, like, I hadn't dealt with the primary issue, which was like my issue with eating, like just eating, and eating too much food. But I think that's a really important part of being on a successful weight loss journey, and getting to the point where you're going to get to your goal weight and you feel so much better. You really think about maintenance. I think like that's a sign, actually, just kind of, like verging right off track here, but I think that's actually a sign that you are going to be successful. I mean, I know it's probably like getting way ahead of myself here. I still have 20 kilos to go. If you're thinking about maintenance, if you've got that kind of end goal in mind where you're like, okay, like, my maintenance, that's going to be the hard part. Like, I'm going to get to a point where I get to my goal weight, and I'm going to actually have to maintain that weight. There's no like having a big party and all of a sudden magically I don't have to be thinking about eating healthy and calorie counting and stuff. Like, there's not really an end goal in a way with this, because you get to your goal weight, but then it's not like that's the end. I mean, then you enter the maintenance phase, which is like probably even harder. So I think that could be a sign that you're like, things are like going really well and getting really positive. Again, like, I'm probably just getting ahead of myself here. The ups and downs of weight loss, it's gonna happen, you know, you're gonna have these moments, but I think what I've really learned is to just embrace the ups and downs and just take it as it comes and move with it and work with it and not fight against it. I mean, sometimes like even lately when I feel like I've been going pretty well. I mean, I've lost 12 kilos since February. So I'm actually pretty happy with how I'm going. But just the ups and downs of it, I still sometimes struggle. Like, sometimes I'll weigh in and I'll be like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, what? I did so well this week. How could I not lose anything? How could I put on weight? What the hell? But I think another part of it is being honest with yourself. That's my third thing I think I've learned, is how important it is to be honest with yourself. I mean, that's probably honestly like one of the most important things, actually. Like, now that I think about it, being honest with yourself, because you're never going to get to your goal weight if you try to skip doing things, like if you become complacent and just keep seeing what you can like try and get away with, you know, keep trying to like sneak food as if your body won't notice, you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. And even recently, like, that's happened to me where I'm like, oh, what am I doing? Like, I'm sabotaging myself. That's so stupid. Like, what the hell? And I think if you want to get on top of that sabotage, I think really, really focus on being honest with yourself. Like, it's so hard though, because it's hard to be honest with yourself, because that means that you have to confront the truth about yourself, and you have to, like, because we all know what we should be doing, right? Like, we all know that we need to eat healthily. We all know that we only need a certain amount of calories a day, and, you know, a certain calorie deficit would be optimal, whatever. We know that. But to actually do it, like, to actually be honest with yourself and be like, oh, well, okay, I'm actually at my max calories today. Like, I'm actually there right now, so I really shouldn't eat anymore. It's so hard. It is so hard. And, you know, kind of just wanting to have a little bit of a biscuit and then having to just, again, you know, be honest with yourself and not try to sneak it. It sounds so silly, but that's the sort of thing that happens on a weight loss journey. Have I learned anything else on my weight loss journey? There's a lot of things, but I wanted to do more than just, oh, you need to calorie count, or, you know, going to the gym helps, but it's not really like that important at the beginning. I didn't want to do anything like that because it's like, well, isn't that obvious? But I think that can be my fourth one then. The fourth thing I've learned is how important nutrition is, and the calorie deficit is the most important thing. Like, that is where to start, really. Once you've dealt with your issues with food, the next place to start is just your nutrition and your calorie deficit. Like, just figure out, okay, how much am I eating? Like, what kind of food am I eating? How can I eat healthier? How can I eat less calories? And just start really basic, start really simple. Like, don't do anything crazy. Obviously, like, the classic that you hear is to cut out soft drinks, like sugary soft drinks. I wish it was that easy. Like, some of us don't drink sugary soft drinks, so we can't just cut out something and then like magically save 250 calories every day. Like, I wish, haha. But like, yeah, so like just little things like that really do make a difference though, for real. But yeah, that's definitely like my fourth thing. And then I just thought of a little extra bonus one, which is, it does make it easier to not drink alcohol. Like, just lately, this is for the, how long has it been now? Goodness. I think it's been about 3 weeks or like a month, and I haven't been drinking. Not really to save calories, to be honest. Not really to like for health or anything like that, just for my own reasons. And I think it has helped. I think it actually has helped me with my it's just a lot easier to maintain the calorie deficit when you're not having these extra calories come in with the alcohol, because obviously like it's a lot of calories. And then the alcohol as well, for me, like if I have a couple of bevies, that increases my temptation so much more. Like I could be all good, like I've just gone through the day and I'm chill and like I've not had any cravings, I don't have any temptations and I'm just fine. But I might have a couple of drinks or even like one wine, and I'll be so tempted. I'll be like, oh hell yeah, like let's go get an ice cream, like that'll be great. Like I'm so tempted. Anyways, so that's kind of like another reason to avoid alcohol. Like I'm not saying like, oh yeah, just cut out alcohol, definitely straight away cut out alcohol. I'm just saying like little bonus tip that I've learned just recently is it really helps to not drink alcohol. It just helps quite a bit. So those are the 4 things, and I think a little bonus thing at the end that I've learned on my weight loss journey. This is kind of more of like my recent weight loss journey.
And so that's the video, bestie. I'm just here just to add on like what I think about today's video. The biggest lessons women learn after losing some weight. So we're going to start with losing weight is never just about the number on the scale. It's about the emotional roller coaster, the mental battles and the victories that change how you see yourself and how the world sees you. Many women have gone through this transformation, come out saying this wasn't just about looking good in clothes, it was about discovering strength they didn't even know they had. The biggest lessons don't always come from the workouts or the dietary plans. They come from the way the journey reshapes your confidence and your relationship. One of the most common things ladies share is how their self-worth is no longer tied to external validations. Before losing weight, so many women feel overlooked or even invisible. But after shedding some pounds, they start noticing how differently people treat them. Some are shocked by the sudden attention, both good and bad, and that becomes a powerful lesson that not everyone around you truly see who are you at your core. Losing weight teaches you to separate genuine connection from shallow interest. And many women admit that it's both empowering and a little heartbreaking to realize how much society judges based on appearances. Another thing that comes up with a lot of shifts in self-discipline, women often say that the process of losing weight shows them they are capable of so much more than they believe. Sticking to routines, waking up for the workout, saying no to habits that once controlled them, they are lessons that go beyond the gym. It's not just about dropping dress sizes, it's about proving to yourself that consistency and self-control can transform your entire life. Many ladies say that once they learn discipline in healthy, it shows into every other area, career, relationship, and finances. You realize that if you can master your body, you can master almost everything. Confidence is another huge takeaway. The weight loss journey is not just magic. Confidence that does not just fall from the sky. The moment you hit your goal weight, what really happens is that women learn to appreciate their progress and the effort they put in, and that becomes the foundation for genuine confidence. They stop hiding in pictures, they stop being afraid to stand out, then they finally give themselves permission to take up the space. A lot of ladies say the biggest lesson is realizing that confidence was always within them. The journey just helped to bring it out. But not every lesson is glamorous. Many women also learned that weight loss does not fix everything. It does not automatically heal insecurities, broken relationship, or self-doubt. That realization can be taught, but it's one of the most vulnerable lessons. You learn that happiness can't just be tied to your reflection in the mirror. You learn that self-love has not been nurtured at every size, because if you don't work on your mind or your heart, no matter how weight loss will make you feel whole, like a whole, okay? Like you need to feel like you're the whole person. Ladies often share that these lessons was the hardest part, also most thrilling, because it shifts the focus from chasing a number to building a healthy lifestyle and mindset. Another important thing women talk about is how their circle changes after losing weight. Sometimes friends or family become supportive and proud, but sometimes jealousy and judgment creep in. Many ladies realize that not everyone will clap for their success, and that's okay. It teaches them to protect their peace, to set boundaries, and to surround themselves with people who truly celebrate them. These lessons are tough because it forces you to reevaluate relationship, but it's also empowering because you learn that your journey is not for everyone, it's for you. Health also takes stage. For a lot of women, losing weight starts as physical goal, but what really gain in return is a deeper appreciation for their healthy. Energy levels goes up, sleep improves, and everyday tasks become easier. They learn that feeling good in your own skin goes hand in hand with taking care of your body. Many ladies say that once they experience the freedom of being healthy, they no longer see dieting and exercise as a punishment, but it's a gift. It becomes less about restriction and more about choosing what your body really needs. Perhaps one of the biggest lessons women shared was in the stories is the finish line. Instead the stepping stone into a new lifestyle, maintenance, balance, and self-acceptance became the real goal. The lesson is that the journey doesn't stop when the scale shows you your dream number. It continues every day with the choices you make, the mindset you carry, and the love you give for yourself. Ladies who have gone through weight loss often reflect on the mental toughness they developed. They say that the journey teaches resilience, patience, and perseverance. There will always be setback, plateaus, or moments of doubt, but learning to keep going despite those moments is one of the greatest takeaways. The lesson that failure is never the end, it's just a redirection. At the heart of all these lessons is